Here's your study guide for geometry, the shapes, surface area, volume. Let's do it. First you, right? Then me, and see if we can get it done. First, can you name these shapes? So number one is called a cylinder. Number two is called a sphere. Number three, it comes to a point. It's a pyramid. But what kind of pyramid? It's a rectangle pyramid, because the shape of the bottom is a rectangle here on the bottom. This is a prism. But what type of prism? So the rectangles are around the side. What's the other shape that's not a rectangle? That tells me what type of prism it is. If they're all rectangles, then it'd be a rectangle. But I see a trapezoid. This is a trapezoid prism. Again, it comes to a point. Again, it's a rectangle. These are both rectangle pyramids. Here, this is a prism, and all of them are rectangles. This is a rectangle prism. This is a sphere. This is a rectangle prism. This comes to a point. It's a pyramid, and they're all triangles. It's a triangle pyramid. Again, a pyramid. This is a square if you look carefully. So this is a square pyramid. Again, a pyramid. It's a rectangle pyramid again. And circle comes to a point. This is a cone. All right, so those are our names. Turn the page. Can you find the volume of each one? So identify it's a prism. Identify what the shape is. So this is a triangle prism. So the volume is the area of the base, which is a triangle. So I go 3 times 4 divided by 2. And then I multiply that times the height. So 3 times 4 divided by 2 times the height. So if I do that, I get the answer 30, and it's meters cubed for volume. 14, for volume of a box, you multiply each dimension together. So 5 times 2 times 10, and you get your answer. And again, it's feet, and it's cubed. So it's always best if you try it first, right? As you're studying for a test. Cylinder. Start with a circle, which is pi r squared, and then multiply, so the area of the circle, that's the radius, times the height, which is the distance between them. This one, I can't do in my head. This one, I can approximate it, but I'm going to go pi times that, 785. I'm just going to round it. And again, that's inches cubed. Again, a prism, multiply each one together. So 9 times 4 times 9. So there's 2 9s there. And 1 4. So do that. You get 324. And again, that's meters cubed. Same thing again, a box, a rectangle prism, multiply each one together. So 9 times 12 times 6. That's 648, and that's feet, cubed, a little 3. This is a triangle prism. So the triangle, the base, and the height, they always meet here. So the base and the height are 3 and 4, divided by 2, and then multiply it times the distance between the triangles, the height, which is 7. And that's, what is that? 42. Cone. So for the cone, the circle, this is the diameter of 20. So the radius is 10, then times the height of the cone, which is 20, and then divide by 3 because it's a cone, it comes to a point. So I'm going to put that in the calculator. I'm going to round 2,094. And again, for volume, it's cubed. Sorry. Here we go. Pyramid. Area of the bottom, so that's 3 squared, times the height of it, which is 7, and then divide by 3. And there's the volume. More to do with volume. Again, it's a box or rectangle prism. So all the dimensions together. So 10 times 10 times 9. And then multiply it together, and then you have your answer. Just doing the work doesn't make you do better on the test, right? Like, you have to try it first and study as we're going along so you can do it on your own. Here's a cone. The radius is 6. So we're going to go pi r squared. And then the height of the cone is 12. And then divide by 3. So cones and pyramids, you divide by 3 at the end for the volume. All right, I'm going to use my calculator. Pi times 6 squared times 12 divided by 3. I get 452, and that is yards cubed. Number 23, I have a square at the bottom, times the height of it, which is 10, and then divide by 3. So the area of the bottom times the height, and then divide by 3 if it's a cone or pyramid. So this is 64 times 10 divided by 3. I'm going to round to 213. Here, this is a sphere. The diameter is 6, so the radius is 3. The formula is 4 pi, the radius cubed divided by 3. That's the formula for volume. And you get about 113. And again, that's inches cubed. Now I want to find the area of this. So for a cone, take the radius. So pi r squared is a circle plus pi r, what they say L, the slanted height, 24.6. And that's it. I round that to 1,230. Again, it's area, so it's squared. Same thing here. The radius is 5. So it's pi r squared plus pi r L. And then use your calculator. So pi r squared plus pi r L, the slanted height. I get 254. Again, it's squared because it's area. This one, we're going to go each rectangle times 2. So 3 by 12 times 2. And then 3 times 8 times 2. And then 8 and 12. And then put that in your calculator to get the answer. So 2 times 3 times 12 plus 2 times 3 times 8 plus 2 times 8 times 12. 312. And again, that's centimeters squared. Again, 2 and then 1 rectangle plus 2 and another rectangle. In order doesn't matter. And then 2 and the last one. So 2 for each rectangle and then add it all up. That's 226. And again, that's kilometers squared. Turn the page. A cylinder. So for area, we have 2 circles. Pi r squared plus the rectangle that wraps around. So that's the circumference times the height. And then use your calculator. That's 1,589, probably 90 if I wanted to round it up that way. And it's squared. Again, a cylinder. So the radius is 5. So it's pi r squared and then 2 pi r and the height. And then use your calculator. Number 31, the radius is 4.3. The formula for surface area is 4 pi r squared, and that's it. That's approximately 232 yards squared. Here, it goes all the way across, so the radius is 4. So again, it's 4 pi 4 squared, using the radius. About 201. How about for pyramids? So we have a square on the bottom, and then we have 4 triangles, and the base and the height divided by 2 make it that, and then we put that in our calculator. So it's 4 times 3 times 3.4 divided by 2. And I get 29.4 inches squared. So think of the shapes here. So underneath is a square. There it is. Then the triangle. So the base, so there's 4 of them. And then the base times the height divided by 2. And then type it in. I get 145.6, I'll write that way, squared. This is a prism. There are 2 triangles, the base and the height, and then divide by 2. And then there are rectangles all the way around. So one rectangle is 12 by 8. Another rectangle on the bottom is 10 by 12. And then another rectangle on the left there is 6 by 12. And then use your calculator and calculate the total area. And I get 336. Same shape, 2 triangles, look for this 90, so 6 and 8. So we have 2 triangles, 6 times 8, divided by 2 plus the rectangles. So we have a 6 by 10. We have a 6 by 6. And then 8 by 6. So we're going to go 2 times 6 times 8 divided by 2 plus 6 times 10 plus 6 times 6 plus 8 times 6, and that's 192. All right, turn the page. So it says find the height of a rectangular prism if the volume is 100 with a width of 5 and a length of 2. So the formula is length times width times height. It says the volume is 100, the width is 5, and the length is 2. So we're going to multiply those 2 numbers together, and I'm looking for the height of it. So 2 times 5 is 10. Divide by 10 to get h by itself, and 100 divided by 10 will give you the answer. Find the height of a rectangular prism if that's the volume. So again, same formula. I'm looking for the height. So the volume is 200. The length and width are 2 and 50. And then find the height. So 2 times 50 is 100. Divide by 100. And then the height is 2. And it would be 2 feet. This one would be feet as well, 10 feet. 39. Find the radius of the cylinder if the volume of the cylinder is 157 and the height is 2. So the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times h. The volume is 157. The radius is 2. And I'm looking for the height. This is 4 pi, so I'm going to divide both sides by 4 pi. And now use my calculator. So 157 divided by 4 pi. And I get 12.5. And that's in inches for the height. Again, find the radius of a cylinder for the volume. So that's pi r squared h. The volume is 924. The radius I'm looking for. Oh, I did this one wrong. So the height is 2. So can I do this one right? This is wrong. So if I did it again, we have 157. I'm looking for the radius, and I know the height is 2. So I'm going to divide by 2 pi to begin with and get an answer. So 157 divided by 2 pi. That's 246.6. And then I'm going to square root to get r by itself. So when I square root that number, that will give me the answer. And that's 15.7. And that's in inches. That's better. I'm going to try it right here. So I need to find the radius. The height is 6. So divide by 6 pi to begin with. That crosses those out. 924 divided by 6 pi. Oops, try it again. 924 divided by 6 pi. I get 49. And then the square root of 49 is 7. So the answer is the radius is 7 inches. All right, last page. Find the height of the rectangular pyramid if the volume is 100 and the base of the pyramid has an area of 50. So for volume of a pyramid, it's the area of the base times the height. So the volume is 100, the area of the base is 50, and I want to find the height of it. So divide by 50, and 100 divided by 50 gives me 2, and it would be 2 centimeters would be the height. Let's try that again. Find the height of a rectangular pyramid if the volume is this and the base of the pyramid has an area of this. So the formula for that is the area of the base times the height. The volume is 200. The area of the base is 25 times the height. Divide by 25. And the height is 8, and it's 8 centimeters. All right, we're almost there. Find the radius of a cone with that volume. Well, the volume of a cone is pi r squared h divided by 3. So write the formula down. The volume is 78.5. The radius, I don't know, but the height of it is 3. And now solve for the radius. Well, 3 divided by 3 is 1. So I just have to divide by pi to begin with. So 78.5 divided by pi. That's about 25. And then square root. And the square root of 25 is 5. And you have your answer. So the radius is about 5 meters. All right, last one. You should try this one. It's just like number 43. So we have the cone. There's my formula for the cone. It says the volume is 308. So take out the V and put in 308. The height is 6 divided by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2, and that's 2 pi. Divide by 2 pi, so it's 308 divided by 2 pi. Oops. So that's about 49. And then the square root of 49 gives me the answer 7. And so the radius of that cone is 7. All right, Mr. G Math, over and out. Good job getting the study guide done. Study it. You can go over it again. And good luck on the exam. Till next time.